Hello everybody and welcome back to the Klonoa playthrough. It is time to begin Vision number 3. And obviously we have to listen to what the King of Jugpot said, and we need to rush on back into the forest because the chief may be in trouble. And so here we are, Vision 3-1, the Reawakening Forest. Theme for this level, I believe, is Forlock Twist, because this is the Forlock Forest. I'm not quite sure the route of Forlock. I'm going to see if the Klonoa Wiki has any particular clues into the origins of its name, and no, because why would they? Because I am the type of person who is far too interested in etymology. However, that said, a forelock, as it is spelt here, is a lock of hair that grows from or falls on the forehead. It's most commonly used to describe part of a horse's mane that falls forward between the ears. So, I mean, I suppose, in a way, their hair is sort of the Forlockians is sort of a forelock, in a way. Because, I mean, forelock is literally the foremost lock, essentially. Really don't get why that is the name of this region. Like, Jugpot, I feel makes more sense because even though it's two words that are basically very similar, it's water coming out of a jug or a pot, which makes sense. Although actually, something that's quite interesting about Jugpot, I'll mention it now purely because we won't be returning to Jugpot, and that is that there's a region called Jugkettle Sea, which was one of the regions from Klonoa Heroes' alternate universe of Lunatea, so obviously the world of the sequel, and is possibly that universe's version of Jugpot due to the fact that they have a very similar name and are based around water. And I feel right now that I need to have a little look into Klonoa Heroes, because obviously there's not many Klonoa games that most of us in the West would know about or recognise because hardly any of them were really released. But Klonoa Heroes Densetsu no Star Medal, or Klonoa Heroes The Legendary Star Medal, was an action role-playing game that was released only in Japan in 2002. So that was a long time ago, but it's meshed things, so you've got bits of Klonoa 1, bits of Klonoa 2, because you get the characters of Joker from this game, but you also get Popka, who was obviously from Lunatea's Vale. So you get a bit of a mixture. I really do just want more Klonoa. And actually, now that I say that I want more Klonoa, it's quite awesome because 2017, I hadn't realised it when I was going through the information of when the game got released, but 2017 is the original Klonoa's 20th anniversary, which is amazing! I love that! And what's even more awesome is the fact that on October the 28th, 2016, Henshin Inc. announced that they were adapting Klonoa into a feature-length anime film. And it was, well, it's set to be in the same universe as Klonoa Door to Phantom Isle, but with an original story. It was then announced on January the 10th of this year, 2017, that Hideo Yoshizawa had joined the project as executive producer, and you've also got Ash Paulson of GameXplain as an associate producer. So that gives me hope, because I would love to see Klonoa revived. I really would. But we shall see what occurs in that respect, because honestly I have no idea. But yes, I mean, if you look at www.henshin.com, Klonoa is there. Klonoa in development. Written / designed by Hitoshi Ariga, produced by Rob Pereira, and then obviously I'm giving you the other two. If you want other things that they have worked on, there is the Ginza Arcology Guardian Force Aristar series. There is The Glorious Legend of Zay. And there is Dinosaur Hates Ninja. And actually they're a really recent animation company. So they are a San Francisco-based animation producer focused on US-Japanese co-productions. Founded in 2014 by anime and video games industry veteran Rob Pereira. Henshin's trying to bring a transformation to the way animated entertainment is made on both sides of the Pacific. So, I don't know how much they have actually put out, because there are only 4 things on here. This is actually making me slightly more worried, because unproven people, especially when you're dealing with well-loved franchises, can be slightly unnerving. That said, oftentimes the people who have not had the chance to prove themselves yet often work harder and do better, because you've not got the ridiculous studio interference that you get with big budget films, but also you've also got a whole thing of, if you look at Deadpool, so obviously that character's had a ridiculously strange run of things, but finally he got his own film in 2016 and it was amazing, and it was directed by Tim Miller, and that was actually his first feature film that he had ever directed by himself. And that turned out to be a really damn good film. So it's one of those things where sometimes having an unknown work on something is brilliant, because you can be surprised by things when it turns out good. But equally, if it's not a well-known company, there's a chance that it could go horrendously wrong, because, well, if they've not really got any work yet, then clearly they aren't going to be very good at all. I mean, I suppose it's the whole thing with searching for jobs and work experience and all that jazz, because in a lot of, well, in the job hunting that I've done, which admittedly is not as much as some people will have done over the course of their careers, I'm right at the start of my search for a career, so I've not really done as much as quite a lot of people probably would have done. But I feel like for the jobs that I want to get, I'm a relatively unproven candidate. It's just like, I can do what if I'm applying for a job, it's because I know I can damn well do it. Because that's just the type of person I am. I go for things that I know are within my capabilities and my skill set. But often, when people look at what you've done previously, you're just like, well, do you really? Can you? And people don't always trust that, and that's really annoying. So it swings in roundabouts, really. And this bit of the level. I know I've been sort of ignoring it, but it's a pretty standard Klonoa level. It's nice and it's fun. One thing I will warn you is that what you need to do is you need to make sure that you kill the big moo and hit the switch, because otherwise you're not going to be able to continue. But also don't do that, because that's stupid. Like, I'm pretty much, you know, just cutting out deaths throughout this run through, because seriously, do you need to see them? Unless it's in the extra vision, in which case, you know, that is an incredibly big challenge and I kind of want you to see my suffering. But in the main body, nah. I mean, I was desperately trying to do a non-death playthrough of the game. I seem to recall that when I hope that when I did it the last time I did get straight non-deaths. Or at least I just redid the levels until I got to non-deaths. But you see, I got slightly lazy in this one. I reached a point where I was just like, you know what? I'm just having fun with this playthrough this time round. And it's more of a celebration than a I'm going to do everything perfectly and it's going to be amazing. Because, you know, I can't be bothered, like. But yeah, I thought I would leave that death in because you know what, that was, that was quite funny. And it shows you how careful you have actually got to be sometimes with how you're moving between planes, because you can get screwed over like that. I was not impressed. I was very annoyed with myself and at the game, because it was just like, really, game? You're really gonna do that to me? Like, that's just cruel. But what the hey, we are at the end of the level. Success! So annoying that I did it on the last bloody room as well. For God's sake. So yes, we have flown right into the trunk of the tree. And obviously at this point, I'm doing entire visions in each part rather than splitting them up into different parts for vision 3-1, 3-2, 4-1, so on and so forth. And I mean, the reason that I've done this is because I've got a time limit on this playthrough for myself, in that I want this done before my channel turns 8, because arbitrary time limits are perfect for when you need to get stuff done. But yes, it's making me look at the length of these parts and just going, why must I do this to myself? But it's fine, because we get introduced to boomies. They are little dog pig things that go boom, which are both brilliant and terrifying. And also, I'm so going to get lost in this level. It's a very easy level to get lost in, because the game doesn't really give you any clues as to exactly where you need to go. It's actually quite open in terms of everything that is located. So, like, I can run over here, and brilliant, I can get some gems, but nothing else. Though we will need to remember it for later. And I mean, in a way, yes, this is actually quite good, because it makes you think about the directions you're going, what you're doing, and actually encourages exploration. The only problem that I have with it is that the game doesn't really give you a decent enough indication for how you move that platform there, because I was just going like, well, I think I need to move this, but I don't know how to do it, because it's been so long since I played the game, obviously, that I'm just like, have I missed something? The answer is yes, I have missed something, but it's just the button prompt that I need to move the damn thing. I think you just need to shoot a wind bullet. That was not... Okay, it's not even that. Yes, like my brain was just going, I don't know what I'm doing. I am actually lost. And then eventually, it decided it was going to let me go. But there was a moment there I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm pretty sure it is just you have to shoot a couple of wind bullets and wait and it'll sort itself out. But it is just like one of those moments of just, It's fine now that we're past that. This is just a nice, easy ride, hopefully. And this is the part where I forget to edit out my deaths, clearly. I promise you will not be seeing many of them much more. They will all be hidden from view. But I mean, this is one of the things that I probably should bring up about Klonoa, is that, yes, it is an easy game. Don't get me wrong, it is a really easy game in general to play. The problem is that some of the jumps that you experience are quite challenging because they are actually really precise. I mean, obviously there's a bottomless pit beneath those platforms. If you're not stood on them, or if you just end up landing just on the side of one, you're going to slide off. And, I mean, that's fine. And I probably shouldn't be doing that, because, you know, I need to not waste my time. Because what I probably should have done there is gone down, hit it, and then sorted myself back round. Because there's a whole thing with the mirror fairies, which is what those things are called. I believe I have mentioned them before. In choosing how you get your... where you double up things. So like, there would have been a good time to do it. Oh, I didn't know there was an egg there. Let's see what awaits us inside it. Probably need that life, considering how many I have wasted. And going back to the whole thing of Klonoa's difficulty, it is possible that you're just slightly too... well, how shall I put this? You're slightly too reckless with things, and so you might just constantly run into enemies and therefore lose health and die that way. That's a possibility. I don't think I have ever actually done that outside of maybe boss fights, particularly the boss fight that's going to come at the end of this vision. If there is any boss fight that you're probably going to lose health on, it will be that one. Because I would say that he's the most difficult to dodge effectively, which is a bit annoying. But, oh well, that's just cruel. I was just gonna get that Forlockian, and we were going to be fine. But no, just had to get in the way. And now I believe that there is a steeper. You see, I'm trying to get the Klonoa enemies' names right, because I have seen the names of them all, but they are slightly difficult to remember sometimes. So I mean, that little thing in the shell was a Shelly, which makes sense. And, oh, it doesn't seem... it's not a steeper or whatever. It's a teeper, I believe. Let me just double check that I am indeed... Yes, it's teeper. So I was close. Now this is something that the game teaches you here, and you are going to have to use a few times later on. It's the ability to double jump using the moose, or any sort of enemy, and it is a real challenge in timing, because it's jump, grab, jump, and you, well, in the more challenging bits of the game, you're going to have to do that multiple times in a row, because that will allow you to get to great heights and also cover great distances. Let's just say that in the most challenging rooms in the game, mostly in the extra vision that unlocks, but also in two particularly, well, not two particularly challenging rooms. So I wasn't planning on bringing this up until quite a bit later, but I might as well since I'm here and I'm about to do a puzzle and have an interesting time with it. The answer's clearly 132. But I don't know whether the original Klonoa had it or there was an addition to the Wii version, but there's a thing called reverse mode. Essentially what it does is it flips all the levels, so instead of running from left to right, you run from right to left. Just try and give you a little bit of added challenge, but really that's not what the challenge is in the game. In reverse mode, in the levels, each vision hides a special portal. You go through that portal, and you enter into a particularly challenging room, and they are insanely challenging. once you beat one of them, you get a medallion, or a medal, whatever you want to call it. And basically, if you want to get 100% in Klonoa, on the Wii version at least, I would say that really you do have to try and get all of the medallions. So technically my walkthrough from many moons ago was not a full walkthrough. I'm pretty sure at the time I did mention that it was just a walkthrough of the main game, and that I was going to get all of the villages. That is certainly the same here. The one thing I didn't do in that one either, and I'm not doing it here, is trying to get 150 gems in every single level, because that is also a challenge that is just slightly beyond me, because it requires knowledge and deftness of hand when it comes to picking up gems, knowing when to trigger the mirror fairies and what gems you pick up. Because obviously in certain things there are multiple pathways available to you that will lead to a different total number of gems after you've triggered the mirror fairy. So I have no idea what I'm doing with regards to that. So just gonna leave it be, I feel. But we are going to get all of the villages, and I am going to show off all of the potential things that you can do. So you will see a little bit of reverse mode, which you wouldn't have seen last time, and I will certainly be tackling the extra vision. So it'll all be good, but we found the Chiefess, and obviously Joker's here. Joy. So here we have our next boss, Gelgbolm, which is a particularly ridiculous name, which I have no idea what it means at all. Like, it's a weird name that literally means no sense to me. But that is fine. Basically, obviously, you hit him from above. This much is clear. That's why there are springs. That's why there are moves. That's why Joker said, "Watch out for attacks from above." Peter's not just like telling us how to beat these guys. It's ridiculous. But what's quite fun is that in the original game, Gelgbolm had golden armor. Whereas in the remake, it's much more brown and it's covered with vines. It's meant to look like, I think, a much more earthy thing, which makes sense. But the other difference is that in the original version, Gelgbolm makes a sound similar to a toy winding up when he's about to attack. In this version, there's a little bell jingling. So you can generally tell when he's about to attack, but it's a little bit difficult to sort out. And I will say that this is easily one of the more difficult boss fights in the game, because it is so much about getting him in the right position and double jumping at just the right time. Because you have got to do it right over the top, otherwise, as you have seen, everything will just drop off him. and will be completely unaffected. But once you've got him into a little bit of a pattern, if you generally steer relatively clear, make sure to hang by the springs and double jump right when the opportunity is ripe, you should do okay. And also I would totally recommend waiting at the end of the area or the platform just for him to run up to you, because at that point he will stop for a moment, giving you a better chance to double jump over him and leap off. But yes, let's watch him wither and die. And thank God the cheetahs is alright, so hopefully she can give us the dough. Right, Joker's on his way. Let's go save Grandpa.